We have the opportunity to invite a number of distinguished people into the economic war room. Today, we have the opportunity to bring in General Robert Spalding. He's also got a doctorate in economics and mathematics. And he served in the White House at the National Security Council. And he was a B-2 and B-52 pilot. He is one of the most interesting and experienced and knowledgeable people we could bring in to talk about China. Welcome, Dr. Spalding.
Thanks, great to be here.
You know, it's so interesting having you here because you've got a new book coming out. The title is Stealth War: How China Took Over While America's Elite Slept. And that's a topic that we talk about quite a bit in the economic war room. Can you tell us a little bit about the book, the premise, and what you're going to be putting out there starting this October?
Well, yeah, the title Stealth War actually comes from my background as a B-2 pilot. When I was in the Pentagon in 2014, a friend that I had met while I was in New York at the Council on Foreign Relations sent me a PowerPoint presentation essentially put together by one of the major auditors in the country, detailing how company after company in the U.S. had come under duress or attack from the Chinese Communist Party and had essentially had some of their intellectual property or technology taken back to China. And I realized that there was this a very similar attack to the way we would execute an air attack from a B-2 on the economy of the United States. And so it started me on this continuing today journey to study all the elements that China brings to bear against the U.S. economy for the benefit of their own citizens, primarily to maintain control over the country. And so it moves across the realm of finance, trade, investment, immigration, media, politics, the internet. It's all involved. And if you want a reference for kind of how it evolved, is a good one is the monograph Unrestricted Warfare, published by two PLA colonels back in 1999. Of course, I read it at the time, didn't realize how visionary what they were describing was, but essentially it was both prescriptive and descriptive. They were seeing things that they had an access to the country through globalization and the internet that was really unparalleled in history. And so it really afforded them what we thought was a strength, an ability to undermine the U.S. through our openness.
Well, you know, we talk about unrestricted warfare a lot here in the economic war room. It's one of the primary topics. It's something I've written on quite a bit. But what's great, we've had Gordon Chang and Roger Robinson and other true experts in their fields. What's great is to have you from the military perspective and also from the idea of the stealth war, as you mentioned from your B-2 experience. Do you think we're in an economic war with China?
No doubt we're in an economic war, and it's not just an economic war, it's a psychological war, it's a social war, it's an information war, it's a media war, it's a law war. Essentially all elements of national power are being employed, and it's not just to essentially reap economic benefits, it's also to essentially suppress the freedoms that we enjoy, because the Chinese Communist Party is incredibly fearful that those ideas, those visions, those principles are going to be transplanted over. And so they've been on, essentially a 3-decade tear in really reforming the technological basis of our current economy in the United States to a more totalitarian vision.